Have you ever wondered why so many autism studies seem to contradict each other? Or why the government's evidence on autism seems directly opposite to autistic people's evidence? I can explain. In 1985, Simon Baron-Cohen introduced theory of mind deficit as an explanation for autism. This positioned autism as purely a social deficit and purely on the end of the autistic person in a vacuum. So in a two-way interaction, he said that autistic people were both causing the problem being understood and the problem understanding the other party. Over the next almost 30 years, this drew increasing criticism as it was incredibly difficult to replicate, and nobody was able to reliably replicate the results. If you can't replicate the outcome your study proposes over 30 years, it is generally held to be bad science. In 2012, Dr. Damien Milton published the double empathy theory. This study looks at communication as a two-way street. So not only were autistic people not understanding non-autistic people, but non-autistic people were not understanding autistic people. This was almost immediately able to be replicated, and it has been replicated internationally and cooperatively. Whereas theory of mind positioned autistic people as unreliable narrators, double empathy theory invited autistic experience and perspective. And as happens when a study is easy to replicate, we now have a vast archive of new insights on autism. Dead-end study like this is usually debunked or superseded. In this case, it's superseded by double empathy. However, if I can draw your attention to when evidence first came out that smoking was harmful, there was a similar contradiction in evidence or seeming contradiction because of profits, cost, and social accountability. Double empathy doesn't look at autistic people in a vacuum. And through studies involving autistic participation, we have learned that it is a system-wide difference, not just a social deficit. Hostile infrastructure such as the Gruen transfer has a greater effect on autistic people. So while ideally the evidence chain would look something like this, where the evidence that has not been replicated is discontinued and the evidence that has been replicated and is successful is continued. But if we listen to that evidence, it demands that we basically restructure society and bring back third spaces and stop designing suburbs for cars. So this is what's actually happening, an unsustainable parallel, where you have people like Uta Frith who have invested so hard in theory of mind, the theory which has never been successfully replicated, that they now take issue with double empathy, the theory that has been continuously replicated. This is what's happening with NDIS. This is what's happening with a government that wants to kick all autistic people off support systems because they want to think that it is simply a social deficit, which again is a position which has never been successfully replicated. And they are fighting for their lives to push this. That's why we're building the foundational supports. This is an overview. If you want to look into it further, you can start by Googling theory of mind and double empathy in relation to autism research.